一番感受是Godzilla 가자. 응자야죠.
What up, party people?
What up, what up?
Welcome to Nerd Party Talk, the show where we take time to celebrate all that is gloriously nerdy.
And I'm Johnny Vu.
And I'm Christopher George. And today we will be reviewing the King of Kaiju, the Destroyer of Destroyers, the God of all monsters. I don't know what else. Godzilla.
Godzilla.
2014. Godzilla.
When was the last Godzilla movie?
2001?
2000, 1999? P. Diddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible.
With the remix of that Led Zeppelin song.
Yeah, no.
Come with me. Maybe I can play it.
Yeah. Anyways, let's just erase that from our mind. I actually came into this movie not comparing it to the last Godzilla because I don't even remember that one. It was so bad.
Yeah, I didn't even bother rewatching.
Yeah, I haven't seen it for a really long time.
Yeah. So let's run down our positives of what you liked about this movie.
All right. Are we talking spoilers?
Yeah, we'll give a heads up if
if we talk spoilers. All right. What I really liked about this movie was that it was more grounded, as in like it wasn't too silly, as in the fact that like, you know what I mean, like they could have done like a really really silly film. Like coming in, I had no idea the tone, the pacing or anything. I had a feeling it would be a little bit more serious.
Mm-hmm.
I almost came in expecting like Pacific Rim meets like Godzilla, where Pacific Rim is just like big ass monsters fighting, just fighting in bare action.
Yeah.
I was a little let down when it was more like it was a little slower.
Right.
But I still liked Godzilla's badass. The other monster was badass as well, and the human Bryan Cranston killed it.
Oh yeah.
And your pros?
Bryan Cranston for one. Well, Bryan Cranston is a positive and a negative, but the negative I'll get to. Cranston he's just always put stellar work. He plays that obsessed scientist type of thing so well, with Breaking Bad as like the science teacher and in this role, just the way he portrays his emotion and that one scene that it's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer. That one scene where he lost his wife.
Yeah, he does that little freaking where he screams and hits the button. Man, that was
pretty intense. I'm not gonna
strumming on my heartstrings.
Yeah, like I wouldn't hold too much against his character for seeming batshit crazy towards after that whole incident, because he lost the love of his life. Like, what else is gonna happen? So that's a positive. Aaron Taylor Johnson also was a positive for me, especially because I'm so used to him playing Kick-Ass and like seeing him in not only like a fatherly role, like he had more of like a commanding lieutenant type of thing, which was really nice to see and refreshing. Like
I like watching him in interviews and stuff because he's got like a British accent. He's really into it, and like, but when he's like on screen, that like, you know how some people you can just tell, like I can't remember Alison Brie. There was a movie where I saw her. She was speaking in a British accent or something. It was terrible. But like I adore that girl. She's sexy as fuck. I couldn't even tell. Like you know when those actors, you see them in like American roles so much that you don't even remember that. Oh fuck, you're British. Yeah, he did a pretty good job.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, even his like walk and his like demeanor, like when he was walking, he's very military. It's very
He's pretty jacked too. But jacked. A lot of that has to do with his preparing for Avengers, I think.
And Kick-Ass too. I think he was. And Kick-Ass.
Oh yeah, he was already big.
He was already pretty big. How'd you like Elizabeth Olsen?
She's such a babe. I think so. But like she wasn't in it too much, so she played the motherly figure, wife figure quite well. She gave Aaron an incentive to keep progressing through the movie.
Yeah, like I saw her in Old Boy. I think was the last film that I saw her in. And in that film, spoiler alert, she gets fucked by her dad. So it was kind of fucking awkward.
Really, they did the incest thing?
Yeah, in the new one. And
I thought they
sorry
were...
guys if you had never seen Old Boy. And then in this, we all know she's gonna be Scarlet Witch with Quicksilver. So like the scenes where they're kissing and stuff, I'm like, oh my god,
I was trying to block that out.
They're brothers and sisters. They're kissing.
That kind of didn't enter my mind too much, just because the acting was just
it was good. I was just being silly.
I also liked how they let you know where you were, in which locations they were in, and
you just liked it because they were in the Philippines.
Yeah, not only that, but it was just because like it gave you an idea of what the scale of this problem was. Like it was global. It wasn't like a national problem. It wasn't going to just stay in Tokyo. So that was nice, and the locations were just they were beautiful.
They're really
the
nice.
Philippines for one, and I'm not being biased because I'm Filipino.
And when they were in Tokyo and Japan,
like
the housing was like cool too. I loved it.
Like the wider shots of like the city.
Yeah.
Like
and
awesome.
when Bryan Cranston's speaking all Japanese, like thank you, good. But
only his Japanese was so good. My goodness. But he's an actor. So.
Yeah.
And I guess my final positive is Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like he like I liked how they kind of stayed true to the original design of Godzilla, and especially with the sound effects. Like
the sound effects were awesome. You know, very nice golden like silent moments.
Yeah,
and you'll hear the roar. Or,
or
a monster attacking, stuff like that. It's very even the military ones where it's all silent and obviously is flares come up. It's very 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 nice. Very.
You'd like anticipate like whether or not a monster was gonna pop up because of that silence, which was nice. So yeah, I was out during that last act. I was like, man, this is a Godzilla movie. Why the hell is he not breathing fire? And then he just dished it out. Like, yes.
So what are your negatives?
My negatives are the pacing.
I think we can both agree on the pacing.
It's a tad slow. This is a character-driven story. If you're going in there expecting it to be
Pacific Rim,
Power Rangers, Godzilla, you're gonna be sorely disappointed. I know I was starting to be.
Yeah, when they were
because like, if you're gonna name your film Godzilla better be at the fucking forefront. You spend kind of like almost half of the movie staring at Godzilla's backside.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the movie, it was like a trailer where we were just teased Godzilla. And it was just, it was like, oh, they're going to fight. Oh no, you don't get it. Yeah. Like it was a huge cock tease. I did not like that part, but I still get it. It's like an origin story. Like they tend to be a little bit more slow, but it was still.
That's another cool thing. Which I will add to my positives is that these creatures weren't like artificially created. They were natural to this world, which was nice.
And like the whole natural part, I really, really like. I actually should have said that in my pros, where they're not monsters. They're kind of like animals. They're just trying to survive. They need to eat, so they're doing what nature. Exactly. And
that Ken Watanabe's character had that one line where he said, "The arrogance of man is that he thinks they can control nature."
Right? Yeah.
So that was cool. But I guess another negative for me was it was a little bit repetitive in some instances.
Yep.
For example,
we have a mission. Let's go do it.
Yeah.
And then
Aaron Taylor Johnson getting knocked the fuck out how many times, and then Godzilla having to save him how many times.
Super lucky guy.
So that was there. I guess and other stuff I guess are like a little nitpicky. I'm drawing blanks. There were some nitpicky stuff that
the mad scientist bit where like they had. Why would the father have 20 books of chemistry in the room? Like it's the same. Like it could probably be the same thing. There's like 20 different books of chemistry and like. New York Times, where the heck did you get the newspaper, buddy? You're in fucking Japan. Or like when his wife is running, she's the last one to run, but somehow they cut to her in front. I'm like, okay, girl. Or like, the formations where they're all like lined up and they're like, okay, let's go. And they're like, oh, Aaron just happens to be in the middle. Like just very small nitpicky things. things, but at least it wasn't like the old Godzilla where I was saying to Angela, he walked through a building and the building was intact.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was a funny part.
What'd you think about the final battle?
What were the other monsters called?
They had an acronym for them. They're called
Modu.
Modu.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Masood.
Masood. I forget what it stands for. It's like massive.
Some, but they were freaking menacing
unidentified.
as frick. Like their whole like
They're kind of like
arm-
insect.
It was kind of
like-
reminded me of like Cloverfield, but we got to see the monster more. Yeah, they're really insect-like.
Yeah. For those of you who are thinking that the monster was going to be Mothra,
You're definitely wrong.
that's what I thought they should have went with more iconic villains for this one.
Well, I disagree because I don't think they really need like a big because they didn't have a name for that thing. They just gave it like a general name, so it could have been like whatever. But because like the main thing is Godzilla, he's fighting a monster. It doesn't really matter. Who.
Yeah. Well, it was certainly helped with the marketing for sure, with like the hardcore Godzilla fans.
Yeah.
And like with the last movie, there wasn't anything. Godzilla didn't
Yeah, it
have
was a
anything
bad
to
guy
fight,
pretty
right?
much. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. But,
Yeah.
Any closing statements?
Yeah, no, it was a fun time. It was a fun time in the movie. Acting was stellar because they had a stellar cast. This director actually, this was his second movie.
Wow.
His first one is a movie called Monsters, which kind of had a similar narrative.
Okay.
It's about these people who are trying to get back to United States. They're in Mexico and they're just like going through all this like devastation that these giant space monsters kind of like created. So it was kind of like similar to that. But I like the fact that Hollywood isn't afraid to go with like no name directors and like their main objective is to get talent.
Yeah.
Like, and we see that with like Kevin Feige has done it with James Gunn.
Yeah.
He's done it with the Russo brothers.
That's true as well.
Yeah, so it's it's refreshing to see and that Hollywood is going in that direction. They're not just gonna go for staple names like as much as I love directors like Spielberg and Scorsese, and I will automatically go to see those movies. It's nice to get some fresh talent into the industry. What about you?
If you like Godzilla or any sort of epic monsterness, you'll like this film. Go into it with an open mind and don't think that it's like a silly, like what we had in the past or like I said, Pacific Rim and all that. You're gonna get a great story to an origin. Everything I think made sense. Like it was nice and all tied in together. Yeah, it was a fun time. Pacing could have been cool, but when you finally get to the part where it's all Godzilla, it's pretty epic. Yeah. And there was points where I'm saying, ooh, ah!
Yeah, the VFX and like, the
just
CGI
Godzilla
was just
look
spectacular.
awesome. And our buddy Masood that we watched it with saying Godzilla kind of looks like the Dragon Zord with less metal and stuff, but he does kind of look like it.
If they do a mecha Godzilla.
I think some people in China were saying Godzilla was too fat. Like Americans are making like Godzilla fat, but it made sense. He was like kind of bottom heavy. But
makes sense.
Yeah, he's a guy like a dinosaur, but
BC is kind of synonymous with no offense.
So what would you give Godzilla out of 10?
I'm gonna give this one a 7.5 just because of the pacing. And because there wasn't too much Godzilla. If they did that, I would have given it a lot higher. Yeah. But overall, it's a good time. It's totally worth the $15 you're gonna dish out, or whatever country you're in, whatever the exchange rate is.
I'm gonna give Godzilla an 8, a solid 8. I think it's a good movie, and I think it will stand the test of time for Godzilla. Godzilla has long awaited a good movie that Godzilla fans can appreciate, because even in like the action figure community and stuff, there are a lot of Godzilla toys and a lot of Godzilla fandom for it. And
do you have any?
I don't have any. Like I might get one now when NECA releases the 18-inch one. It's supposed to be 1/4 quarter. But 1/4 quarter of Godzilla would be ridiculous. But I can't wait to get it.
Cool. So if you're just tuning in for the first time, this is a really just chill show where we just like to converse about the various things that are going on in the comic book, movie, and video game universes. So this show is nothing without you guys bring in like questions or comments about the stuff that we're seeing and the stuff that you're seeing. So if you ever feel like talking to us, you can follow us on Twitter at Nerd Party Talk. And do you have anything to plug? Do you want to plug?
Yeah, Instagram and Twitter is Johnny Vu. You can follow me there, Chris.
And you can follow me on Twitter at _ Christopher G, and on Instagram at Christopher George XO.
You need to change it up.
Yeah, I need to change that up.
So I think our next review is X-Men Days of Future Past. If you're watching through this whole video, we're probably going to do a contest, maybe a few giveaways on some X-Men figures, maybe at the movie theater.
Yeah,
if we have time. And then
not too many subscribers right now,
Yeah,
so you have a good chance of winning. Just I think maybe if you throw in a comment, like, and subscribe, maybe we'll do like a draw or something.
Yeah, I'll give you one of these.
We'll
X-Men
stay
figures.
tuned. We'll
figure it out. We'll figure it out. But yeah, thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you. And as always, remember to celebrate your nerdiness. Peace.